Hi, I'm Nico and welcome to my channel. What is paint chipping and why do I do it? For today's video, I'll show you how to apply paint chipping and I'll tell you why I do it. There are many ways to simulate paint chipping on scale models, and in this video, we'll look at two of the most popular, brush and sponge. Before I start, we should know what paint chipping is. Paint chipping is when a small area on a painted surface has been chipped away. It's usually the first step you do when you weather Gunpla. Why do we paint chip? We do it on our scale models to replicate the wear and tear that we imagine could happen if Gunplas are real. Although sometimes, it's all about conveying an idea, more than replicating a realistic look to our models. I usually start out by adding edge highlights. The purpose of this is to make the shapes of the armor pop, and in my case, it also serves as paint chipping, making the edge of the armors have a faded look to it. For edge highlights, you want to use the flat edge of your paintbrush. Drag your paintbrush along the 90-degree angles of your armor. Light brush pressure is key to a good edge highlight. Using the edge of your paintbrush to add a highlight is essentially tracing. For the sponge technique, I like to use a piece of kitchen sponge. You can use something different. Even your girlfriend's makeup sponge would work well. I just take a chunk out of the sponge, but you can cut yours if you like. I simply hold the sponge with my fingers, but you can use tweezers, especially if you have big hands. Now, dab it on. Don't smear, don't dry brush, dab it on and lightly at that. I start out with little paint as possible. I dab it on a tissue first before applying to the model. This method by itself does not produce realistic chips. It's why I like to always use it with the paintbrush. With the brush loaded, I also dab it on tissue first, before I start applying the chips. A tapping motion will help to keep the chips looking like chips, and not blobs. Keep things random and every now and then stop and examine what you have done. It's worth it as it's easy to get carried away. Paint chipping is usually overdone. A little goes a long way, and it's very easy to get carried away. Be careful not to chip areas that wouldn't receive any wear in real life, and don't overdo the parts that would take some abuse. However, I do think we need to exaggerate the scale of the chipping a bit, in order for the viewer to capture what we're trying to say. Because realistically, we wouldn't even see a speck of chipping on Gunpla, considering the scale. The amount of chipping is entirely up to you. Personally, I like my chipping overdone because it looks cool. But just as there are different styles in art, there are different styles in modeling, so do what you want on your models. You also need to know there is no one color to always use. The idea behind this is simple. When a piece of equipment is scraped, It doesn't always leave just one color. Chipping, in reality, is to get rid of layers and show what is beneath. So try different mixes of gray and rust shades, darker and lighter. All it really takes is the willingness to experiment a bit. It's really quite a simple technique. Paint chipping with the brush and sponge is simple and fast, and produces realistic chips and scuffs if well made. Chips are especially prominent on parts that stick out, especially the edges. Tell a story with the chips. I know it sounds cheesy, but it works. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe and watch my other videos.